Welcome back to the Tailgate Tours. Jeff Pangle, Technical Seed Agronomist, Winfield United, Delta region, coming to you today with another version of the next 10 days. This is an extension of a video that I did previously on mid-season nitrogen applications or pre-tassel in on your corn. So one of the things we kind of left hanging was, how do I determine the yield potential of VT or R1 corn? And so I'm going to cover that today in this video as we go toward the mid-season production practices of our corn crop in the Delta. There's a formula that's listed here on the whiteboard, and this is at VT tassel corn. We've got silks beginning to form, and then if we dissect that small ear shuck that's forming, we can begin to see small ears. And so the calculation goes like this. This is kernel rows times kernels per row times our population and divided by a factor, and I'll discuss the factor in a minute. But in this particular case, let's just say this is our example. We've got 16 rounds, we've got 34 kernels per row, and we got a population of 35,000. We just divide by 35, and the factor that I used in this particular example is 85. Gives us a yield potential of 224 bushels per acre. And so within this video, what I'll do is I'll put a picture of an R1 dissected corn plant ear in there, and then you can see what it looks like. It looks like the little corn that you see on the Chinese buffet, but it's real small. Probably an ear at this stage is probably 2.5 inches long. So what about this factor? What I mean when I talk about this factor, there's three different numbers that we typically divide by depending on the condition of the corn. If this was a dryland cornfield and we had difficult growing conditions and our kernel depth was very shallow, I would divide this by 90. And basically what we're talking about in the factor is how many kernels does it take to make a bushel of corn. So in this case where I used 85, I'm saying 85,000 kernels to make a bushel of corn. So if the kernel depth is shallow, we're going to divide by 90. This would be relatively poor production corn, low yield potential. If we're talking about average corn that's been irrigated, or dryland corn that's been well taken care of, gotten timely rains, and we've got decent kernel depth or decent seed fill, then this is where I use 85. If in the rare instance, I don't do this often because it might tend to overestimate, and I'd rather under promise and over deliver to the grower. But if we've got a corn crop that has exceptionally good kernel depth, the filling period has been outstanding, we've had cooler temperatures, it's not been excessively hot, we've had plenty of moisture, then in that stage we might consider dividing by 80. So again, once again, going over the formula, kernels rows is at 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Kernels per row, this could be anywhere from 30 to 40, most cases. And then of course our population, depending on the production practices and where we are. We could be dry land at 27,000. We could have a final irrigated population of maybe as high as even 38. And then of course we've talked about the factor. Then that takes us back to our estimated or guesstimated yield potential of our crop. So this goes back into the discussion that we had previously about mid-season nitrogen applications and how to determine my yield. So thank you for joining me today on the Tailgate Tour. Once again, Jeff Pangle, Technical Seed Agronomist, Winfield United, Delta region, with the next 10 days. Thank you for watching.